So some quadras share about some functions, some axes with other ones, and some not so much. So alpha not at all with gamma, beta not at all with delta, and vice versa. So it's pretty interesting, okay, how they came to know the other type of mind. It's like, okay, and kind of narrow down, okay, what the axes are actually doing. So I try to do that. Kind of, okay, what are some process happening, and what it share. And I think that the TFI do share a process that is similar with the SCNI. So I think that some people have both processes. Some have one processes and other processes that is different. So the delta and the beta, in my sense, they have one foot into a processes and another foot in another. While the gamma, they have the same processes with their two axes, and the alpha has also, like the gamma, two processes. One processes, but with two axes. So yeah, I do think that the mediation process is something that the NESI and FE axis has, and it's a mediation process more in terms of level, like I put there. I think it's more unsettled. I think that the mediation process is more unsettled, while the force process is more settled. I think that mediation process, the conclusion is more horizontal, but it goes to the verticality of things. It's more, okay, kind of know the levels and the verticality of things, but the conclusion is about the horizontal, a particular level of multiplicity. While the force, it's more, I go around the spectrum, or the horizontal, and after I have a vertical conclusion. So it's more force. It's more extreme doing. So extreme doing, okay, I talk about that. Extreme doing, it's more like dynamics within a duality. So axes are fundamentally a duality. So T is the opposite of Fi, Ti is the opposite of Fe. In terms of feeling, thinking are opposite. Extrovert, thinking, they're opposite. So it's more that certain type of axes have as a dynamic that are different than the other axes, and also that there's dynamic within the dualities. So meta and balance, they are more about the levels. So I talk about mediation being more about levels. Meta is more level, and balance is more accounting for multiplicity. So the conclusion of the mediation is more about the horizontal. So that's why it's more balanced within its duality, while force is more extreme within its duality because the conclusion is vertical. And doing versus meta, it's more than meta, see more the levels, and that force is more direction. A direction or an application. So that's why it's more about the doing. So there's kind of two processes that I've noticed. I think that also other people have noticed it. With time, very like analyzing people psychology with their different axes, kind of how they narrow down, how they not narrow down, how they see the horizontal, the vertical, how they process things, how they're unsettled or settled. Me, it's really that I'm looking at. It's like, okay, it's true that the alpha quadra, they have a hard time settling. When I talk to them, they have a really hard time settling, and yeah, it's more that and I will talk about another aspect later on also that is very interesting about the quadra compared to the gamma. But yeah, gamma is like their worldview. The worldview of the gamma are very simple. You could say that the gamma worldview is very simple. The alpha worldview is very complex, like very complex. Mediation is like kind of a complex axis. Force is a simple axis. They both have their strengths and weaknesses, Not to say that gamma are more morons or something like that. They can have a complicated worldview. But I guess the settle, unsettle makes the most sense. And the vertical conclusion, just to say the vertical conclusion has more the potential to be more subtle, or overview that is let's say more at ease with itself, or that is doesn't search for its worldview to evolve. I don't or evolve, but like not in the like a chaotic matter. Like it's really like so gamma are very much more subtle um, compared to the mediation axis, and the beta and quadras are very interesting with that. Um, and I'm not sure I would talk more in my PowerPoint later on, but the beta, they mediate with people basically, but their observation are subtle. So you can see that in their axis pretty much in my sense. I think that's why oftentimes the beta quadra are very good with the INFJ being good at hypnosis or psychology, or ESTP being good at marketing or business. I think it's because they have the direction of their axes of force with the SE and I, but they have the mediation of TI and FE. So they are more unsettled with people in a sense that it's like they try to meddle the water with people. They are very flowy with people. They try to understand the dynamics of people in levels. So they kind of get people with that, and they have the direction of their SC and I axis. So that's a good combo to be good at marketing or understanding people's psychology. I find. And the delta, they have it reverse. It's more that their perception is very weird, very a lot of layers to it, but their decision or the way they account people is very easy. It's very forced. I like. It's really like, okay, this person is about that. It's very simple, like a TFI sample. Me, I like that. Okay, do you want to do it? Let's do it. But their observation is really full of mediation that is really complicated. How they see things, really a lot of levels. They are unsettled, and that's why a lot of ENFP are crazy, a lot of ESTJ are crazy, and also why a lot of ISTJ and ESTJ are a lot about the system. Like they are a lot about the system, and it's because their observation is really layered. So they really need to comprehend the world in terms of system, social differences, and in the system it's more in observation, and with people is very like okay, we do that, I like this. Very simple. So it's like a good understanding of the quadras is really with the mediation and force axis, to be honest.